This week's episode of The Grid is sponsored by MPix. Shoot today, upload tonight, we ship tomorrow. On One Software, focused on photography. Peach Pit Press, publishers of technology books, ebooks, and videos for creative people. Epson, exceed your vision. Expo Imaging, Rogue Flash Benders for speedlight enthusiasts. Intel, the power you need for hardcore creatives. Squarespace, everything you need to create an exceptional photography website. And B&H Photo, the professional source.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another live episode of The Grid. Man, do we have a special guest right here in our studio today, the one and only Zack Arias.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Zach, thanks for being here, man.
All right, excellent.
So Zach's here for some things he's doing with Kelby Training tomorrow. So if you come anywhere near Wednesday, we make you go on The Grid. But he was very gracious, and he's going to do blind critiques. So I gave Zach a couple of different choices what we could do, and he wanted to do the blind critiques. Yes. And I think that's a perfect choice because you're very famous for doing critiques.
No, I wouldn't say I'm famous, but my wife Meg and I, hey Meg, she's watching.
Hi Meg.
She and I do critiques on my blog, and we just did one recently, last week.
Yeah,
and
see?
So they're fun, and they're good, and yeah, so you gave me like, what can we talk about? And I could talk about the Fuji X100.
I love that camera.
Yeah. But the thing is you'll love this one.
Is this the Pro?
This is the S.
Oh, is this a new one?
I just got it.
Ooh, really? Now, I've heard ever since Marcy and I bashed the original Focus ones. Can I just tell you
That's why I'm dropping this on you.
Yeah. No, so a buddy of mine actually has one. And I said, how do you like he has X100. I said, how do you like it? He goes, honestly, I absolutely love it. I'm like, really? Do you have focus issues? Like, oh, hell yeah.
All the time.
He goes, but he goes, when it's in focus, it's stunning. Right. So I don't really have any anti-Fuji thing whatsoever.
You will love
really?
The S.
Yeah, it's nice. People swear by them, so I don't want to be the only guy in town that doesn't like them.
This is the new one.
I've had 5 minutes with the Fuji, so I only give my initial impressions. So
yeah. Well,
anyway, you just got this.
Just got it. Still says sample on the bottom.
Ooh. Okay. What's new on it, real quick?
Okay. Real quick. The focusing is like tons better, and the button layout in the back has improved greatly. The manual focus is actually usable now. They have a digital split image. Remember the old SLR with split image? Yeah. They have that digitally, and they have peaking now.
What's peaking?
Peaking is it comes from the video world where
before it was named Beijing.
Where there's yes.
Okay. Somebody got that. Thank you. Woo, Omega. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you know the zebra pattern on video, like when something's overexposing.
Sure. Right.
So peaking are like these little dots that show up.
Is it kind of like a highlight warning?
Kind of like,
thing?
But what's in focus?
Oh, but what's in focus rather than
so
what's
when
flipping.
You see those little dots kind of start to show up.
I got it.
It's in focus.
Oh, well, great. Excellent. Okay, so real quick, we have a bunch of stuff to cover today, but I have huge news. Now, I'm not supposed to announce this until Friday, and I'm going to announce it with a video on Friday on my blog, but I'm going to tell you guys now because they're doing the editing the video and all right now, but this is so cool. Seriously, this is one of the coolest things I've ever done. I only have this much to do with it, but I got to tell you. So we're producing a professional hockey photo workshop. Now, we're doing this with Scott Audette. He is the team photographer for the Tampa Bay Lightning professional hockey team. We're holding this at the Tampa Bay Times Forum, and this is the most amazing workshop. Now, we put this together, and we were just nothing like this has I don't think ever been done before. I'm telling you, like, so you're gonna no. This is well, there may be
flying out. How to catch that?
Yes, there's a lot about fights, and there probably will be fights during the workshop. So here's the deal.
Awesome.
It's a weekend workshop, but it starts Friday night. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday night, we all get together. We have beer and I think burgers, a beer burger thing. Scott is going to do a presentation. Oh, I got to tell you right up front, by the way, I'm not teaching the hockey photography. I'm teaching the post-processing, okay? Scott is teaching. Scott is 14 years team photographer for the Lightning. He is an unbelievable hockey photographer. I remember the first night I went to shoot hockey, and some of his images came up on the screen because he has somebody editing his images, and I was like this. I seriously almost left. I mean, he's unbelievable, really great. So Friday night we get together, and he's going to teach the settings, the techniques, all the camera stuff. He's going to go through all the stuff, including a safety briefing, because the next day you're shooting hockey. So Saturday morning, we get up after this whole night thing. We get up Saturday morning, we literally go out to the arena where they're shooting. They're going to have, the players from both teams are going to come out. They're going to practice. We get to shoot. The full practice will be out there for hours. Then we go do critiques. I get to do all my post-processing teaching. We have lunch. We have more training. We have safety briefings, because that night, all of the participants are going to shoot a real hockey game. We're really going to shoot the Tampa Bay Lightning. You're going to be there right alongside me, because I'm going to be shooting and learning with you, because I want to learn from Scott as well. Then we have, we have a little party after that. The next day, it's not over. Sunday morning, we're back on the ice. We're actually going to be shooting remotes. And Scott has actually, he's going to show everybody how to use remotes for hockey, including the remote that goes inside the goal. Wow. He's got those, and we're going to shoot the remote in there. Then we're doing a portrait shoot on the ice of athletes. So we're going to, we're going to be everything on the ice. Yeah, dude, it's the whole, I can't believe it. It's the whole shebang. Then we've got more classroom time and all that kind of stuff. We have it packed full from Friday to Sunday. It's just going to be amazing, but it's only open to 20 people. Now, the form to sign up goes up on Friday, which is why I wasn't supposed to announce it, but I am. So the form goes up at kelbytraining.com/hockey. Don't go there now, because it won't be up until Friday.
People are already
Twittering. They're on Twitter. The
link
isn't
work.
working. But anyway, 20 people, and you're going to hang out with me and Scott, and it's going to be, it's getting to shoot, like a pro hockey game. It's incredible. So anyway, it's going to be, and we have the whole Tampa Bay Times Forum. The access that everybody has is incredible. I spent all day there yesterday with Scott, and we just
now Joe signs up and he's got a kit lens. Do you suggest, hey Joe, go rent some glass for this event, or?
Well, what's interesting, you don't have to have a lot of long glass. Is good. Kit glass is always kind of,
right.
But you don't have to have real long glass. But of course, you can go to Lens Pro to go or borrow lenses, and 70-200 is what most of the guys are shooting out there. Because you shoot when you're at ice level, you shoot through a little glass hole this big.
Right.
A 300 millimeter won't even fit through there.
Gotcha.
So when I shoot my 300 millimeter, I stick it on the glass, and then you have to crop every photo because you see this edge going all the way. It's weird when you first start seeing every edge. So anyway, so Donna G says, did someone give Scott a Red Bull? I'm sorry, I'm just so excited about this. And this is the first time I've gotten to, we've been working on this for a while. Today is the first day I could tell anybody, so.
He hasn't taken a breath yet.
So anyway, big news. Okay, giveaways. We got lots of giveaways today. Matt isn't here today. Matt is in Dallas, Texas. He's in Dallas teaching his Lightroom seminar. Technically Arlington, but the Dallas area. But he's going to be in Atlanta on Friday. We're going to give away 2 tickets to his Atlanta seminar. So if you want to go, just we'll tell you at the end of the show where to go sign up to be in the contests. We're going to give away all 4 of my digital photography books, volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4. But it comes in a nice little sleeve, so you don't have to hold them like this. And we've got this book from Lindsay Adler and Eric Vallant. It's called Shooting in Shoddy Light. Shoddy got low. All right, anyway, seriously, this book is a killer book. This book is tearing it up on the charts because everybody has to shoot in
shoddy
light. And anyway, hey, I want to get to the critiques because this is it's a big day to have Zach here and all. Last thing, go to my blog, scottkelby.com. Bill Frakes is my guest blogger today. He is a legend in sports, but he's got a different thing today.
Shooting in no light.
Yeah, you got to go see this. It's very, very well. He is a sports photographer. He's probably most known for that, but he can do everything. So go check it out. Very interesting story there from Norway. Today on my blog. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, blind critiques right here on the grid. Don't go away.
The key to the headshot and capturing a great headshot or portrait for that matter is expression. You can have great lighting, you can have a great subject, you can have a killer background, but if you don't have expression, in my opinion, you got nothing. Hey, my name's Peter Hurley. I'm a portrait photographer in New York, and here I am in my city. I knew I was a portrait photographer because that's what I do. I just am intrigued by the fact that we all look so different. We have so many different expressions we can make. Why not go for them? Maniacal. The art of capturing expression is simply working with your subject to get organic and spontaneous life out of them, human stuff. Now, forehead like a chicken. Hold that. I like that. Good. When you have a person, technical is out the window. I'm 90% therapist, 10% photographer. The technical's done. I'm Peter Hurley, and it's all about making faces in portraiture. Come check out my class at kelbytraining.com. Shebang, shebang, shebang! #1 catchphrase.
Hey, we are back. Scott Kelby here. Matt is on the road, and we're very, very fortunate to have Zack Arias with us today.
Not that fortunate.
No, we are super fortunate. Hey, we have a new sponsor, Squarespace. So Matt talked to them so much that I talked about them so much that, #1, that now they're our sponsor. #2 is they had a 14-day free trial. Now, I got this email that, because I'm on SmugMug, and they've done some deal with SmugMug. So I went there and started setting up. Their templates are insane. Their template, you ever seen their, Pete? I'm looking at Pete. Pete's looking at me. I thought you were going to say something.
Stinky Pete.
You have one?
Squarespace?
You have Squarespace?
I got you involved.
You got me involved in Squarespace? Okay, all right. So Pete's, take it from Pete. Anyway, I want to welcome Squarespace. Go check them out, squarespace.com. They put up photographer portfolios online. They're terrific stuff. Okay, want to talk about the rules of how we run the blind critiques.
Rules of critique.
Rules critiques. Not Brad. Zach has his. Brad, I'm sure, has some. Our big rule is this. We tell the truth, right?
Yes.
We just tell it like it is. Because if you put up an image on Facebook or on Flickr, people will line up to tell you you've reinvented the genre of photography. It's brilliant. So since everybody gives you love, we want to really kind of give you the straight scoop. So that's our part, and your rules are?
Yeah, #1, don't take it personally. We're not critiquing you as a person. We're not critiquing your subjects as people, all right? #2 is I'm guilty of anything that I may say, poorly or critical of your work. You can find that in my work. I look at photography as this is something we're putting our entire life into, and somewhere near the end of my life, hopefully I will have made a handful of pictures that I can truly be proud of. But #3 is I do this professionally, and I photograph people professionally, so that's really what I look at. So if you're just like, this is a hobby for you and you like shooting landscape, and I look at your landscape photos and I go, I don't really like those very much, and they don't really speak to me, and I don't know how you'd make any money doing that. That's simply my personal bias of my own mind of, I'm a portrait guy who feeds a family off of this.
Right. But if you've seen some landscape images that
if it blows my mind, I'm like, man, that's amazing. It's great exposure, and it's great subject, and it's great composition, and it's great. And the other thing that my wife and I talked about in the last critique we did, my wife is a musician, and there is a point where a photographer, imagine you're a musician, you're playing piano, right? You play.
I do.
And you can learn the notes and learn the chords, and you can even maybe play a Coldplay song. And you listen to this. I can play a Coldplay song. Great. You are playing someone else's song. And the jump from that to being a songwriter, to making your own songs, is the lifelong, the years of journey to go through, right?
It is, and I'm a terrible songwriter.
Yeah, I'm a terrible
I can play
everything.
covers all day long. I did it for many years professionally. Yeah. I did it for maybe 10 or 12 years. And I tried to write a couple of songs, and I'm not a good songwriter. It is a craft like anything else, like photography.
Right. So my goal as a photographer and where I come from for critique is, look, maybe this song right here, this photograph has been played over and over and over again. You're playing someone else. You've learned light. You've learned how to expose. Great. But the song itself, the picture itself is meh. You've got to do something to get that to be your own. Okay. And that's the tough part. That's the hard part.
I know, and that is like you said, it's a transitional moment in your career. Any other rules? Are we ready to rock?
No, we're ready to rock. Don't take it personally. And I would say this to your face, but hopefully we see good work today. Hopefully. So let's start. I'm looking at a monitor, right?
One last thing I promise before we go. Where can they hear your wife's music?
Oh, MeganArias.com.
I've heard her stuff, and she's very good, dude.
She's amazing. Now, and I can say that because I was a fan of hers before I even met her.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I heard her before I met her, before I knew her.
And so you were kind of starstruck when you met her, weren't you?
A little bit. Yeah. It's like, Meghanarias. Yeah, Meghanarias. She's on iTunes. She has 2 new EPs out. You can download for free off of her website. And the Signal Noise. Oh, both videos I've done for your guest blog. Meg's done the music.
She's the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. By the way, your videos for. He did 2 videos for my blog. One a number of years ago, 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago, and he just did another one recently. And you'll still in the middle of the week just see someone that just saw it and go, "I just saw that video, changed my life." So if you go to my blog, go to Scott Kelby and look up Zach's name. Just type Zach in the search field, and you'll find his videos. And they're so well done. The music is fantastic. I mean, she's
music's
amazing.
what makes it. It covers up all the bad video.
There's no bad video. No, it's terrific. And great messages. All right, let's get to work.
Get to work.
All right.
Now, what I like to do is I like to look through the pictures, and then we'll come back through. So let's just kind of snap through these.
All right, so here we go. And most people give us about 5 images.
Okay.
And there's our 5.
Okay.
And we'll jump back to the beginning. Okay.
Okay. You know, like I like the composition on this. I like the light. It's kind of a nice dramatic light. But it's so compositionally it's a good shot. It's technically it's a good shot. There's no like weird post-production going on. It's just a classic black and white image. My critical thought on this picture is I don't believe her. I don't believe she's singing.
It looks staged.
It totally looks staged. Now, you know, as a photographer, I go, okay, that's probably, I hope those aren't photoshopped flashes up there. But I see the rim light on her hair, and I'm hoping that, you know, I can't tell closely, but, you know, probably a couple, you know, speed lights up there and popping off there. But I want more emotion out of her. And that's where you, as a photographer, you have to be, you've got your light, you've got your composition, you've got your exposure dialed in, you've got all of that. All of that is locked in. You don't have to think about any of that anymore. Now you have to direct your subject to give you the best. I mean, she could be someone performing at high school and singing and be nervous on stage. And that's how I feel. Like, okay, I'm singing and I'm on stage and I'm kind of nervous. Like, I want to believe it.
That's it. When you said that line, that's what it looks like. That's it.
And that is, you have to direct that. And then, boom, a whole different kind of look. You know, attractive lady holding a sunflower in a sunflower field, and exposure's not bad. It looks a little stocky, like I'd see this on a poster at the bank. You know, kind of like, come in today and open a new checking account and get a $50 gift certificate to blah, blah, blah. I don't care for the pose too much. See the lines in the neck? She's turning her head too much, and it creates these lines right there in the neck where you could kind of tilt her head over, turn the body a little more towards camera, and that would help clean up those lines in the neck. But, you know, and then there's like at least a 63% cheese ball factor of, hold the big flower. But, you know, I mean, if that's on the lady's Facebook page, it's a great profile picture.
There you go.
You know, it's a nice shot.
All right. I was waiting for you to get to that. It's a good Facebook profile picture.
Great Facebook profile picture.
Now, the only things that I would mention is the lighting on her is really pretty flat. It's not flattering lighting. It's just... You know, because the backlighting part's good. It looks okay in her hair.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
that hot spot across the chest.
This should not be the brightest thing in the photo.
Right.
So your eyes are drawn over here instead of to her face. So, but like you said, for a Facebook profile photo, it's fine.
Yeah. And what would be nice there is a little scrim, little pop open, you know, those reflector diffusers.
Yeah.
You throw that behind her, and God, that's a close shot of me. Pull back.
Go wide. Go wide.
Go wide. Oh my God.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love wide. I always tell you, shoot me wide. And actually, I like movement when it's on me too. So
turn
you
the
can't really
lights
focus
off.
in.
Right.
It's great.
A little diffuser hanging off over the back would cut down that bright highlight.
Yeah, and it absolutely would.
Okay, so this next shot here, you know, it's similar to the first shot we saw. You know, kind of that hair light from up top or back, and kind of a hard point light source on his face, and it looks nice. Again, we have a nice composition. And, you know, with someone in a bow tie playing the cello, like, I'm expecting a little more of a conservative sort of look. I mean, nobody is like lighting that crap on fire and screaming as they play.
It's not ELO.
Huh?
It's not ELO.
Yeah, no. You know, it's not. So in this sort of arena, I would expect this to be a little more conservative as far as the subject. And at that point, what I like about this photo is the little gesture of the hand. It just, you know, the kind of graceful holding of the bow. You know, and this guy hires you, say, hey, I'm a professional cello player.
How about a shot for my Facebook page?
I need a shot for my Facebook page. Great. The best one of all his cello friends. That's, you know, I mean, it's nice. But here's the thing.
I like that one. The best one of all of You've got the best Facebook profile picture of all your cello playing friends.
All of his friends are jealous of this photo. Now, you might be saying, oh, you jerk, this is my portfolio. This is my work. This is what I'm passionate about. Okay, great. I get that. And you're doing a good technical job of it. But it's not one of those pictures that I'm like, oh my God, that picture is so freaking amazing.
You know, Brad shoots a lot of concerts, and he's
Yes.
a tremendous concert photographer. And what Brad will always, when he sees anyone playing a musical instrument, and this flows through this whole person's thing, is he says, Brad would look at this, and the first thing he would say is, there's no emotion. This is anyone playing. You didn't capture a moment where you go, wow, there's no impact. It's just, it's a person playing a cello, well lit, like you said. It's technically well lit. It's a good angle. Light looks not bad. Decent gesture on the hand. But he's just looking straight at it like I could almost be asleep. I could almost be reading a book that is taped to the neck of my cello. Right. So, and the same thing with the expression here and the expression here.
But this one is the, like, I'm nervous and scared.
Yeah. And this one's just, I'm bored.
Right.
All right, 2 more?
I'm going to give this a cheese ball factor of about like 92%, especially with that laser on the eye.
Yeah, that's the one that put it over the top.
And, you know, it's, you know, badass girls with guns don't stand underneath 2x3 Chimera softboxes.
No, you can never, it's so hard to get them to stand under those softboxes.
I know, right? And it's just, it's like, I don't believe her. I don't, it just feels contrived, and that works, bringing the exposure down. But I don't believe the, I don't believe it. And that red dot on her eyeglasses just feels cheesy and amateur.
Look at the difference just in changing the exposure. Look how bright.
Yeah, your attention is brought more to her face.
I might have gone a little far with that adjustment. And then, like you said, let's get rid of the cheese ball effect here.
That would be removing that, and the gun, for that matter.
You know, I agree with you.
It's not like,
it's gonna be hard for me to get rid of that gun, though, Zach. I don't know if I have a
get to work
gun removal thing here.
You know, there you go. And now
closer.
she's just mad. I put a rolling pin in her hand.
All right, rolling pin.
No, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, I just.
Does it get any points for the name Terminatrix?
No.
Okay,
no, it gets, now you've lost like 25 more points for having Terminatrix.
Lastly.
You know, it's just a really tight shot of the face. It's decent light, but those eyeballs look like they've been nuked to white. Yeah. And I've never met anyone with that white of eyeballs.
Yeah, and it looks like that's the only part of the image that you really worked on. The skin looks like it needs some retouching. It looks blotchy up here, like there was some maybe blemishes up here. You removed them, but in kind of a heavy-handed way, and the skin doesn't look very good.
You would be able to speak to that better than I do.
Yeah, it just looks, it needs,
see that stuff right away.
The retouching just needs, it's very blotchy looking skin, which is what nobody wants in the world. I think this is the weakest one of the bunch, but I agree with all of your comments. Hey, we're gonna take a short break. When we come back, we have a whole lot more, so stick around. Now that we're up and running, we got all the rules, we're ready to rock. Stick around, we'll be right back here on The Grid. Don't go away.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum.
Hi everybody, Scott Kelby here, and I want to tell you about a brand new member benefit for members of the National Association of Photoshop Professionals. We just call it NAP for short. So at NAP we have literally thousands of training tutorials. That's what we do, we teach Photoshop, right? But the tutorials that we've had have always been kind of short, sweet, down and dirty, quick. But now we are announcing full, in-depth online training classes. That's right, taught by some of the best instructors in the world. Now here's the thing too, if you're a beginner, this is so for you because the focus of our first round of classes was really on the beginner, on leading you step by step to where you become advanced. And we'll be adding new classes all the time. Now, the coolest thing about all this is, we didn't raise the price. In fact, we've never raised the price. NAP still is just $99, back like it was years and years ago, but it includes a full subscription to Photoshop User Magazine, the digital version or print, your choice, and these brand new full-length online training courses. So I hope you'll check this out at photoshopuser.com. It's where people go to get really good at Photoshop. Hey, we're back. Scott Kelby here with Zack Arias. I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, MPix. So they are an online photo lab. They're the online photo lab that I use. They're amazing. I'm going to be using them this week, in fact, to print a couple of 16 by 20s that I need. You take your images, you drag and drop them onto their website. If you get in there by 11 in the morning, you have them the next day in your hands. So it's very, very cool. Go check them out at mpix.com. Can't do this show without our sponsors, so thank you very much to them. And now back to our blind critiques. Okay, here we go. Let's go through all four, right?
All four.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, wait a minute. So this person went to one of my workshops in Hong Kong because I think, shot that picture in Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's a trick.
I love the light. That's fantastic.
The light is, I have to say, of all the shots today, I think the lighting here is absolutely stunning.
Amazing. Okay, so yeah. All right.
We'll go back.
Yeah, so let's look at these three. Now I'm wondering, like, who is it? Since it's a blind critique, I don't know. Okay, so at the exposure-wise, let me look. It's a little hot. Like
I think it's hot right there.
Right there. It's just overexposed just a little bit. You know, it's you know what? I'm trying to like take her emotion in, and I'm wondering if she's upset about the dress she's wearing. Because the dress and the expression and I'm like, okay, all right, what's going on with this photo? This is one of those like photos like, okay, I mean, it's an okay photo, but it's, I don't know. And I don't even know where to take it to the next level. I don't know if I think wardrobe is the next level.
Yeah.
Like a different
Styling.
wardrobe.
Yep.
Styling. Cutesy pie picture, right?
Yeah.
It's, you know, cheese ball factor of about 73%. It's a cute picture. The light is nice. The cropping is the composition of it is a little off for me. I feel like I want to see all the way around her shoulder there on the right side of the picture, right? Or I want to crop more into her, just past her ear a little bit, and then put some more negative space to the left side of the photo. You know, it's a cute picture, but technically, lighting is fine. The black and white looks good. Exposure looks good. I just want to work that composition a little bit differently. Yeah.
Maybe not 4 inches.
You know?
Sorry, got carried away. I didn't know how big the image was. I wasn't really looking at the sizes. All right, maybe 1.5 inches or something. I'll send it over to the right. So, and then we can.
Yeah. And that starts, a little negative space helps to balance that composition out. She was a little kind of just tied in. Look at you.
Oops,
Look at you. You ought to write a book on this thing or something.
I've considered it.
Dang, man.
All right, there we go. All right. That does look better.
That looks better. That little bit of negative space, and this is the hardest thing that I have about talking about composition, is because when it comes to negative space and balance, I only know it by gut and feel. There are no numbers that I can give. There's no formula. There's rule of thirds. There's
what you're saying, though? No, seriously.
But
say that again.
At some point, there's no numbers to it. It's just a gut. Like it's a feel. Like that feels balanced.
Right. Sometimes you cannot put it into very technical terms.
You can't.
Sometimes you look at it and you know it's right.
Right.
And you can't say why, or you know it's wrong, but you know it's wrong. And you're not like, if you added 2 inches and you sharpened it a little bit more, it's just sometimes that this helped it.
It did.
But it's still not not there.
It did. And yeah, and I respond better to this as a square crop with that little extra negative space. And what's the struggle for me is, you know, as an instructor, someone who teaches too, is you've got to be able to communicate what you're teaching about, you know. And then there are certain little aspects though that I have the most difficult time teaching. But that helped. Okay. He's peeing.
He is peeing, isn't he?
He's peeing. He's having a wee, and he's looking up at the window, wanting to get out of prison. And
fabulous lighting.
Fantastic
lighting here, ludicrous.
We were in a hotel in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is amazing.
I love Hong Kong.
I miss that place so much.
Oh man, Hong Kong rocks.
Lewis, let's do it again. All right, so
Louis Pang?
Yeah.
That guy's insane.
He's awesome,
dude.
Isn't he?
He's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to critique that picture, but
I'll critique it. I like it.
Yeah, that's all right.
You know what it is? I think it has a little bit too much headroom.
Okay.
If it was going to be a cover of a magazine, it'd be fine.
Right.
But it's just a little bit too much headroom. But
you know, it'd be nice too, is a little rim light on the hair to separate.
Yeah.
But it was the one light workshop. So there you go.
One beautiful light is all I can say. Okay. There you go.
You have to go see Joe for the 2 lights. Ooh, landscape's my favorite.
We'll do these quickly. Here's the 5. 1.
HDR.
3. 4. 5.
Okay.
That's some
HDR. And it's just, when it screams HDR, okay, here's how I look at it. There is content and there is technique, right? And I am a believer, and it kind of comes from older photojournalism roots that I have, that content wins. The content, the story, the whatever, the content of the photo wins, and then there's technique, right? And technique is HDR, or your lighting, or what you do in post-production, or you use wide-angle lenses to a special effect, or whatever. And so the content of this photograph is this rocky beach with the lighthouse and the bridge in the background and the clouds. That's the content. The technique is the HDR. All right, and the dodging and the burning and the coloring and all of that.
The over-sharpening.
Right.
The over-vibrance.
What has happened here is the technique has totally overrun the content, where I can't see the content for the technique. As soon as it pops up, all I see is like, oh my God. Too much Photoshop.
That is really well put. There's the quote of the week. When you open it up and you see it's the technique overwhelms the content, and that now, I totally agree. This is over the top HDR enough to where when you see it, all you think about is the HDR.
Right, HDR in capital letters. Now, I think HDR can be used. You capture it's a beautiful sky, it's a beautiful scene. I think the composition is really nice. And I think HDR could come in and just open up the shadows and just kind of hold on to the highlights a little bit without making it look like, you know, an HDR bomb just exploded on it.
So you know what you can do to help this? So I'm going to give you a little HDR tip just for the person that did this, because we don't know who did it, of course, is go back and take your original image, the original shot that you took, right? Open it up before you do any HDR. Drag it in Photoshop on top of this one. So you have the HDR over craziness, and then you have the original one on top. And if you hold the shift key when you do it, they will line up perfectly. Mm-hmm. Now lower the opacity of the real one to bring back realism into this. It'll be a blend of the two. There'll be a little bit of HDR and a little bit of, and it just looks tremendously better. And this is just HDR to the max. Now, RC actually, we'll give this away. Actually, if we can figure out, is there a way, Brad? Is there a way we can figure out who did this? Like, no, not on the screen. Like, who did the photo that we have on the screen? Can you bring it up? We have their like registration or something where they send it in, right? We're going to get you a copy of RC's book called the HDR book, because he does this technique in the book, and we'll see if we can get RC to sign a copy for you, and we'll send you one with our compliments, because the content is okay. And you know what? People love lighthouses. Not photographers. We hate them. But but people outside of photographers love. You've probably shown this to friends, and they absolutely love it. And you're so upset now because like we're saying bad things about your HDR. Right. It's not about the shot. It's the processing. So let us send you RC's. We'll send you RC's book. We'll see. RC's. We'll stop by his office and get him to sign it for you. It's a terrific book, but it'll help you know when to stop and how to merge the real image with the HDR to create something that you look at and go, is that HDR? But I look at that water and it screams HDR, and that sky and the glows around the, I mean, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey, I got a text from my friend, Captain Jack. Jack is a Delta 747-400 pilot who flies to Tokyo and to Hong Kong, and he just wrote, and it's interesting that we're doing HDR when he wrote, because he wrote, Hong Kong does rock, and he says, perfect blend of the old and the new, and then he says, Barb says hi. So Barb is an HDR expert. She was featured in RC's book.
All right.
So there you go, small world.
Very
Here we
cool.
go. All right.
Now, okay, so no HDR. It's all about the content. It's not about the technique. And if any HDR happened upon this thing, then I don't see it.
Yeah.
And I like this shot. I was kind of like, hey, that's kind of a cool shot. I like the sun kind of popping through. I love the, if you'd HDR'd this and put all this detail into those black, into the blacks there of the limbs, like I'd be like, boring. I like that dark contrast against the sky. And there's a weird little stick hanging out the right there.
Over here?
Yeah, it's like the Loch Ness sand monster. Let's get rid of that because it's not working for me. Yeah. Are you using the Jesus brush there?
Yeah.
My friend Hassel calls it the Jesus brush because you have to press J and it heals. And
that's good.
I've
never done one. Yeah. Better without it.
Yeah. Better without it.
Kind of a hack job of the retouch, but you get the idea.
Yep.
All right. So, Ugh.
All I can think of is if you go on YouTube and you type in animal crackers, and it's like BBC animal documentaries that someone has gone in and done voiceover for the animals. I just think of that. It's a bird shot. And
if it's a bird shot, it better be a fabulous bird shot.
Right. Because, go into Google image search, type in flower. What do you know?
Yeah. I'll tell you, a great place to go to 500px.com, type in flower, and you'll go, whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh, the bird. Oh, that's what a bird shot's supposed to look like. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here's a new one.
Time for a break. No, it's not. It's time for you to take a break.
Every 10 minutes or so, yeah. We'll get through this one, then we'll take a break.
Okay. All right.
Brad isn't super precise with his breaks.
Yeah.
He's who is? Oh, Meredith, our director. She's tough. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at what we got here.
Football. Okay.
He's using the Evans oil-filled head, so that's good.
All right, next. Let's go run through them.
Oh,
here.
yeah, sorry, all five. You know what's interesting is how quickly you can see an image and decide whether you like it or not. And it doesn't take like 3 minutes to go.
Do I like this or not?
It has impact.
Right.
It has a feel, or it doesn't. Okay.
Right.
We'll start with the Evans.
Okay. What I'm drawn to are those hands and arms. Like, wow. Like, that looks great. The light on those look great. Like, I want that to be the subject, but what's the brightest part in this is the drum head. So for me, it's like, okay, this is a picture of the drum head. And I don't see a drummer playing his drums like that. It looks like he's trying to poke the sticks through the drum head.
He's trying to pop off the head from this side.
Right.
So what's the subject, I would ask? I would ask the photographer, what's the subject?
Yeah.
It looks like the drum is the subject.
The drum's the subject, and this guy destroying the drum. And then I see football. And, one thing I've learned from Jay Mizell is that anytime there are words in a photograph, we're just going to go read that.
What was the first thing I did? Evans.
And I read football.
See, it jumps right off the page to you. Vic Firth.
So I don't want to see football. It's just, again, it comes down to that, like, I don't believe this. Like, this just feels sort of set up, and but the arms and the hands and that texture of the muscles and the veins, like, ooh, like, yeah, I want to go in and see that. I don't want to see the drum.
Shades of Glenn Dewis there. Glenn Dewis.
Yeah, right.
Little shades of him. All right.
Oh, it's nice. It's I don't know. It's like, oh wow, that's pretty.
You know what's driving me nuts here? I mean, overall, it's just kind of an ad picture, but this is acting as the horizon line, and it's crooked.
And it's crooked.
It's not the horizon line. I mean, it is the clouds, and clouds can be, but it looks like it's horizon line. But if you straighten that out, then this road would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
That's a nice shot. That little highlight on the right is brighter than, it's like I want to either get rid of that highlight or
Over
I want
here,
to,
or you're like over
yeah, over there. And I would like to separate his head from the cross a little bit, where his head is not intersecting with the cross. So the cross is still a storytelling component. There we go. Yeah, all right, that's getting better. What did you just?
I just increased the clarity a little on his face. Too much?
A little too much. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah. And then, you know, if there was just a little separation of the cross, I still like it in the background, out of focus. That's part of the telling of the story. I'm starting to see, okay, this person and this back there is part of that. You know, it's a storytelling component, but it doesn't need to be on his shoulder, kind of a thing, intersecting with his head. But I like the connection that I'm making with the subject.
So here's the
Yeah, lightening up his face helped so much, and darkening down that background. That helped a lot. That brings me into him far more. Yeah.
Come on, Zach.
What was
Let's
that?
go to, that's 17. Let's go to 18.
Oh,
25? 25's too much. I tend to agree. But you can also maybe use a tad desaturation.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that helps it.
Yeah.
That helps.
And you know what else, too? His eyes, I think I'd work on those eyes just a little bit. I don't know if they need to be brighter or they need more contrast or something.
Speaking of the eyes, what I would do is I would have brought his face a little more to camera so they aren't buried in the corners there.
Oh,
you know
so
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, because that too much white of the eyes isn't good. I thought it was something we could do.
His
in the crowd.
pupils are buried in the corners. Bring his face around back to you a little bit, back to camera. It'd be just a little hint of white on each side of the eye.
And you know what they say? Eyes are the key to the car. Okay.
Yes. I go to Story House. Okay, she's reading a book. She has a flash in her lap, and there's maybe a monster coming to get her, and it feels. Okay, it's
like a student project.
Yeah, it's not.
This is a girl in my class, and we took a flash.
Yeah, and then I took another flash. And, it kind of goes back to those other musicians. Like, okay, the light is good, the composition's not bad. He's got some sort of like blue death ray coming. Oh, it's a microphone coming out of his forehead.
Yeah, right over here. There's a mic growing out of his forehead, which probably isn't great.
But you're in a busy environment. But you could have moved the mic.
The light's a little harsh. This could be a light that you bought at Lowe's, and you're just aiming it at him from 12 feet away. It's not a particularly flattering light.
Yeah, but I'm going back to him going, okay, it's kind of like, okay, I got my light on you now. Play your keyboard. Click.
Yeah.
I want a little something. I want more connection from him. I want something more from him. And then I would have turned that other light off, the one over his right shoulder, or camera right shoulder there.
This one?
Yeah. It's a little, no, I'm sorry.
This one. Yeah,
right.
This one.
That
one.
I'd have just turned that one off because it's kind of this bright floating orb over there that technically it's a fine picture. As a director.
Is that what we're shooting for?
No, we want more than that. But I will tell you, you go to jobs and sometimes like, this is what I got today.
Yeah.
And I deliver it, and the client's like, hey, I'm happy, and you haven't reinvented the wheel, and you didn't get that extra 5% that took it over the edge, and you're like, but you've got to be able to see it and go, I didn't get that 5%. Tomorrow I got to get that 5%, and tomorrow you might get that 1% more, and 2 years from now you're getting that 3% more. You're hoping for it. The thing is to recognize it in your work and go, yeah, she's standing on a stage and she looks scared. The next time I'm shooting a picture like that, I've got to do something to get more emotion and something more believable out of my subject than that.
Beautiful. Perfect. All right. Hey, we are going to take a short break. We're going to look at some more when we get back. We are live right here on the grid doing blind critiques. Don't go away.
Hi, Meg. Texting you, Meg.
Hey, Meg. He's texting.
Do you ever find yourself getting frustrated? You know, you want to make a new picture, but you just can't seem to come up with an idea. Sometimes everything you need can be right before your eyes. We don't always get the chance to find the perfect background. We don't get to go to exotic locations, but everything we need could be just round the corner. There's so many things around me, and make my own unique backgrounds. Now, of course, we don't always get to work with professional models. Most of the time, we'll end up photographing the girl or the guy down the street. But we've got our idea, we've made our background, we've got our model. All we need to do now is make a bit of a character and then put it all together. I'm Glyn Jewis. Come and see my class over on Kelby Training. Who put that there?
That was a big rack.
Yeah, we're talking about a drum on a rack-mounted drum. Stop it. All right.
like, that's a big
so
rack tom.
We're taking too much time going through these, so we're gonna speed it up a little bit. But hey, I want to give a shout out to Epson. Epson makes printers. They make the printers like every photographer in the world uses.
They make salt too, don't they?
No, that's Epsom.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
This is Epson, and anyway, they make
Epsom
wonderful printers. We have 3 of them here, and I just sent Brad something to print right before we went on the air. Did you print it yet?
Oh, I have time to print it.
How'd you have time to print it? See, this is why you have a photo assistant. Why do we have a photo assistant, Brad? What's the main reason you have a photo assistant? To place blame, to have someone to assign blame to. Now, here's the thing. There's a rule, because we went over this today during a shoot. I am the only one allowed to place blame. If anybody else says, like if Pete were to go, Brad, it's your fault, then I step in and go, hey, it is not Brad's fault.
Oh, it's like sticking up for your big sister, or for your
exactly
sister or your
right.
brother
Yeah,
or whatever.
No, Brad and I are teams, so we were,
right.
you know,
Right.
we suffer in silence. All right, we're going to look at some images, but thanks to Epson for being one of our sponsors. We could not do it without them, because shows cost money.
Yeah. Especially with all the money I'm making today on this.
Yeah, dude, you're getting big cash.
I got a coffee at Starbucks.
Did you get a coffee?
I got a coffee, yeah.
Who bought him? There is no budget for Starbucks. I want to see a hand. Was it you, Brad?
I found the loophole.
It's okay, buddy. That's right, he was with me, so he couldn't have done it.
So Tim Ritter says, most days, all you need is a hit, not a home run. But that doesn't mean it goes in your portfolio. Like, amen, like, copyright that. That is so great.
No, that's a great
Today,
line.
I need a hit. It's not a home run, but that hit doesn't go in the portfolio.
Right.
Yep.
No, that's great. That's
fantastic.
very well.
And you know what?
Undo that. You erase that. Keep that. So
you hit it today, man. You got out there
that.
and you hit it, and you got on base, and you brought someone else home. Like, that's great. That's your job. You yourself didn't hit the home run.
All right, Zach, I'm giving you fair warning. We're going to go through these quicker.
Yes, we are.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
We're going to look at all 5. 1.
I don't want to. All right.
2. 3. 4. 5. Now,
Okay.
selective color, I want to warn the photographer. Selective color, although it's kind of like a lighthouse. People like it. Photographers go, God, not selective color. It's
Right.
almost like in photography circles, I hate to say it, but it's kind of a punchline.
Right.
Like if we're with photographers and like one of those comes up and it's like a bride with a bouquet and we're
Right.
like, oh, selective color,
Oh
good
my
one,
God.
buddy. So we're already kind of not liking selective color.
That is the person with the camera playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. Look, I can play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Like, okay, great. Now for you, this is you've HDR'd it, you've selective colored. Like, look, I did that. I made this, right? And it's almost, here's the thing, is when your 3-year-old walks up to you with a drawing they've made and they want the prominent spot on the refrigerator, right? They are proud of it. And with a 3-year-old, you're like, that is great, that is fantastic, you're an amazing artist, all of that. We are dealing with adults. And I have to say this is the hard thing, that this HDR'd selective color, I've seen it a million times. You've got to understand, like I've been doing this, going at it for 16 years. I've seen a lot of pictures, a lot of pictures, bombardment of pictures. So there's this encyclopedia of pictures in my head of pictures that have blown me away and pictures that I've been embarrassed that I ever took and what I've seen other people do and blah, 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 blah. And I look at this, and it's like, okay, you discovered Photoshop, and it's that, look what I made. But I'm not talking to a 3-year-old, I'm talking to an adult. And I'm like, okay, look, people like it. People like McDonald's, but chefs don't like to go to McDonald's.
No.
You know, a chef picks up a quarter
Chef
pounder.
Boyardee likes to go to
Chef
McDonald's,
Boyardee,
but outside
right?
of that.
But you get a chef, someone who's like put their life into this, and you hand them a quarter pounder.
Chef don't judge.
Yeah. Sorry. You hand them a quarter pounder, and you're like, what is this crap? Why are you giving me this?
Right.
Like, this costs 99 cents. No. Cook me something.
Can I give you a great example that happened to me years and
Yes.
years ago? My wife and I used to run a design firm. And one of my clients bought literally a PC and CorelDRAW. And he came in one day, and he was so excited. He couldn't wait to show me. He shows me this. Look, I designed this myself. It was absolutely awful.
Right.
And if I had designed that for him, he'd have been like, dude, what happened? This is awful. But there was something about it, because he did it himself,
Right.
that he felt it was much, much better than it actually was.
Right.
It was this, there is some kind of a psychological effect that when the first time you do something and it kind of looks like a professional, you're like, check this out, I did this. Look at that, man, that's me. And I think that's what you're talking about, where you go, it's like it's like
Right.
your kid showing the picture.
And what's hard for us is giving critique is it's like Mr. Miyagi Karate Kid stuff. Like the kid finally blocks the punch. I blocked the punch, and then the instructor just kicks the legs out from under him, and they're just
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you blocked the punch, but watch, and you're on the floor. Get up and do it again. So HDR of old cars, like the old car, I'm looking at the cars going, those are some awesome cars, but it's the content is cool, but the technique, so
Yeah.
I just can't.
I'm with you, bro.
Next.
I don't believe that was really shot on a rooftop in New York.
No, but it's not.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. Let's
Where's-
click
but
through them real quick. Let's click through.
Yeah. Oh, I did something bad there. Sorry. Whoa, I'm doing more. This
Hey,
is cool.
Da, 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 da. It's catch the guy on the rooftop. Okay, hold on.
All right. Here's the 5. Interesting. All right. So when I look at that shot, now maybe this is where you want me to look. He's built
Right.
much like myself.
Yep.
Maybe he is.
I just keep mine insulated.
Yeah,
kind of protected.
mine's protected from any kind of penetration. So
Gamma rays and
gamma
stuff.
rays, exactly. So this is maybe where you want me to look.
Right. Dead center in the chest. It's center of the shot. It's the
Yes,
brightest
right
part.
there.
It's looking, dead at his sternum.
But you know what, though? If you were going to light someone who's really muscular, I don't know if this is the spot you would choose. I think you would maybe choose down here or something,
and, And what we're needing, and it looks like they had something kicking up into the eyes. I see a little catch light.
Yeah, there's a
in
little
the
catch
eyes
light
there.
in there, some kind of
It
a...
needs a little more light up there in the eyes. What I'm kind of, the one thing, like, I'm like, okay, it's kind of nice, but it's that, what is going on with like the tilt shift effect on the background? Like,
Yeah,
the
because
left side is
focus. This is crazy out. Tilt
and,
shift like.
and then I'm going, okay, either he's standing in front of a wallpaper, like a background of some sort. Or
Yeah, it looks like a background.
Or it's been dropped in.
It looks more like a background, though, doesn't it?
It does.
Now, when I look at this photo, I see something different. I say, dude, give me 2 weeks at the gym where I work out, and I can get all of this fixed. Because this is not... it's not supposed to look like this. It's supposed to be round and soft.
Yeah.
So,
And the gym would be a bar.
hey, where's the flash? Just curious.
Right.
Beep, beep.
There's something like I'm looking at it and something is going wrong with this. His arms are so big. It's almost a Popeye effect. I don't know if it's a wide angle lens issue, if there's any metadata attached to this, if the arms are closer to the camera and thus, and they're down at the bottom edge of a wide angle lens, and thus it's making them look larger. I see the T-shirt right away.
It's going to make it gray if I back this off too much with the... Let me see if I can back it off with something else. Maybe if I just back off just the highlights in his shirt because I don't want it to turn into a gray shirt. It's still supposed to be white, but I see, oh gosh, that's worse.
But I wish he had a gray T-shirt on.
Yeah, gray T-shirt would be better. I can't back it off on that.
Composition, it's great. Light isn't bad except for that kicker light on the bottom. It's too hot. That power needed to come down.
Fix it up a little bit.
Yeah, and then the shirt is all wrinkly underneath there.
Yeah.
And that's really accentuated.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of those things where,
about that guy.
Just personally, this is where my own personal bias comes in. Like, I don't really like the crotch base shot. Like, go to the next one. Like, I've got my base. No, the guy with the yeah. Look at my base. I got my crotch base shot.
Look at my big upside down base.
Right. I'm a badass because I have this hanging off my belt. This is where a personal thing comes in. I look at this and I go, why are you so pissed off? What the hell's wrong?
Well,
with
you got to figure he's in some kind of like a metalcore band.
Yeah, but I put my own personal thing into it, going, I'm not into that music and I'm not into the lifestyle, and respect it or not or whatever. I just look at it and I go, like, why are you trying to be so angry and look at me like her? Like, dude, you're a dude standing in a photo studio with some softboxes on you. Like, I'm not scared of you, or your upside down third leg bass.
You know what'd be great though is to take him with all of his gear and everything like that, and put him in like a really nice, bright architectural home, like a beautiful home. Yeah. It's really, really nice. He's
pushing his kid's stroller.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, your date's here.
Yeah, but you know the
same guy,
the
same
same
guy again?
exact shot. So he was probably dropped in on that background, right?
Well, I got a feeling that is a background in the studio again.
No, I have a feeling.
No, you think it's composited?
And it's composite.
Could be. You're right, because he could have shot it on white.
Yeah.
And then brought it over.
You know, it's light composition, all that's fine. You know, so and me just talking about the subject is just a personal thing. It doesn't have anything to do with photography.
Okay.
I'd say overall that photography's pretty good with lighting and composition and all of that. It just needs to start tweaking on some things.
We're going to zip through this real quick.
Yeah.
That's out of focus. You know what these are? These are snapshots.
Yeah, they're just all over. They're just kind of, you know, they're good exposure and compositions are okay, but
cell phone
this
shots.
Picture,
cell phone shot.
This there are 8 billion photos of this, exactly this. Someone standing over on one side of the frame, setting sun on the other, and there's 8 billion of it. And then your job as a photographer is to say, okay, I'm going to take the shot where there's someone standing on one side of the frame, there's a sunset happening on the other side of the frame, and I'm going to make a shot that is going to blow people away. I'm going to make the quintessential someone staring at the sunset shot. And how do you do that? You know, it's a sports shot.
Can't be done in a real game.
It's not time for a break.
No.
It's time for a break, for the break person to take a break.
Yeah. Well, actually, the show's almost over, so that's.
Oh.
I know. The
guy's
fast up here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's look for a few more here.
What's the color of her skin?
Her skin is pink, magenta, beige-ish.
Yeah. Okay.
Thing.
Next. This photographer specializes in people looking over to that side of the frame.
That's true. Look over there.
Look over there.
Over there.
Look over there. Look over there.
Over there.
Yeah.
A little over that way.
Okay, breaking it up a bit. You know, I mean, photographically, these are all nice.
Retouching's better.
The lighting is good. It's, but it's this one. The left side of the screen is so bright. I think you could crop those little bokeh balls out of there, just crop those out completely, because my eye is drawn to the left. I can't get back over to her at all. Yeah, pull all that in past the bokeh balls.
We're gonna go with a square, I guess.
Yeah, the square looks good. And then I wish her head was in just a clean spot of the wall behind her, not having that couch doing a sombrero thing through her head, but the thing that bugs me is she looks magenta-y.
Yeah, she's got a little something.
The color, and then her eyeballs look like they've been retouched, and black and white.
There's some issues.
Black and white. Just psh. There you go.
There's a button that does that. Hey, look, skin problems are gone.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not. I don't love this shot. I don't connect to her. You know, this is like kind of a nice beauty shot. It's about the hair or whatever. The light looks fine.
Tad more retouching. And I don't mean the skin. I mean like the other stuff, like the earring hole. You can bring out the highlights in her hair. You need to trim her eyebrows for sure. I'm not crazy about the way you did the eyes.
They look retouched.
Yeah, this one needs a little retouching work.
The light is beautiful now. I love that little rim light right over there.
Yeah, coming
on the
over
left
here.
Side.
I love the way it falls to shadow
little,
over here.
Yep,
Nice.
that is a great position of that light.
Irises need a little something there.
It's a nice beauty shot.
Nice makeup, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
nice.
darken this part up in the hair too. That's not helping anybody.
Could almost even crop that all out.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah,
I don't know what this is.
It's
in the corner of a club, and I took my camera.
Yeah, and a good spot. I don't.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick. Looks like wedding stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Bad crop.
Next.
Britney Spears.
Okay. So, man, it looks like you're trying to build this symmetrical shot, right? It's not symmetrical, yet it's not asymmetrical. It's like she needs to be right dead center in the middle of that car, and that shot is screaming symmetry, but it's not. So what it looks like is like, oh, you almost got it. But it's not asymmetrical enough to go, oh, you are being asymmetrical with this.
Right. Yeah.
It's neither. It's you know what this shot's about? Her chest.
Yeah, it's right. It's real bright.
That is all this shot is about.
The whole thing is.
Look at
and
her
it's
chest.
too bad because this is a nice moment.
It's a beautiful moment, and it's been cropped out and darkened and all that, and it's all about her chest. You know, that's a great moment right there. And this, you know, I could pick some technical things in composition, but I love her face so much. I believe that. She is truly.
This is one of the better ones we've seen.
She's smiling. Look at her. You believe her.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, it's a, you know.
Pretty girl in the forest.
Pretty girl in the forest. There you go. With a softbox.
All right. Hey, we're going to take a short break. We're going to look at a couple more before we go because we have a couple more that I'd like you guys to see. But, and not really on screen right now, though, is fine. Here, I'll just, thank you. We also have a couple of comments, and we have some giveaways too. So stick around. We'll be right back. Don't go away. We're live on the grid. Hi, everybody. Scott Kelby here. I'm the Conference Technical Chair for the upcoming Photoshop World Conference and Expo. I want to tell you something new we're doing for 2013. I think it's going to have a really big impact. So we have over 100 training classes over the 3 days. What we've done is we've divided these very carefully into 7 training tracks. It's like having 7 conferences all in one place at the same time, and you can choose which one you want to go to. For example, let's say that you come to Photoshop World and you really want to learn Lightroom. Well, we have a Lightroom track that runs every day throughout the conference, so you can go there and learn nothing but Lightroom. Or what if you wanted to learn lighting? You can go and get the best instructors teaching you lighting every single day. We have 7 different tracks that are going, and by the way, if you're in a track, you don't have to stay in that track. You can go into any track you like and switch anytime, many times as you want. That's what's great about this. It gives you complete control over creating a custom conference experience with 7 different tracks to choose from. I hope I'll see you at the upcoming Photoshop World Conference and Expo. All right, so we're back.
Hey, y'all.
Thanks to B&H Photo, one of our sponsors. We love B&H Photo. I buy all my gear there. They're incredible. You know what really got me on B&H years before they knew me or I knew them or anything. I called up one time to buy something. I don't remember even what it was, but I called something and I knew what I wanted before I called. It was like $750, and the guy on the phone goes, okay, tell me what you're shooting with this. And I was like, oh, I'm doing this and that and the other. And he goes, you don't want that $750 lens. I go, here it comes.
Yeah.
And he goes, there's one for $199 that'll do exactly what you want. And I was like, I was holding the phone in stunned silence that a salesperson said, no, don't buy the $750 one. There's one that'll do what you want better for what you want for $199. And I was it. I was their customer forever.
And then he sold you the $900 UV filter.
He did sell me 900. No.
Okay.
So anyway, B&H
No, I
Photo.
buy-
Go to bhphoto.com.
Yep.
You buy stuff there. Everybody does.
B&H is
you ever
my
been to their
store.
store?
Yes.
In New York?
Yes.
Dude,
B&H
it's
is my
insane.
store.
It is. They're great people, great store. Go check them out. Hey, a couple of real quick things. We want to tell you how to get in on the contest today. So for the contest, go to kelbytv.com. I think it's /contest, right? And you'll see a little form there. Is that /contest? Yes. Go there, and then you'll see the contest entry form, and then you say which show this is from. Say right there, The Grid. There you go. Put your name, your email, whatever you want, just so we can contact you. And then at the bottom, leave us any comments. So, for example, if you say, man, I'd love to win the shooting in shoddy light, or I want to win the digital photography books or something like that, just let us know. Just write that in there. And you can say anything else like, you know, Zach, I love you.
Zach's a dork. Zach needs to lose 50 pounds.
Cool. No, don't say anything.
Zach needs to find new inspiration in his life.
Only be nice. Only good stuff.
Zach
Don't say
needs
the
to-
bad stuff. All right. A couple other things. If you're going to Photoshop World, it's coming up in April. There is a special deal on hotel rooms. So we have discount rates for people that come. This is the official conference hotel. So this is where I'm staying. All the instructors are staying there. You can hang out with Pete Collins in the lounge, because Pete's always in the lounge. It's weird. But anyway, we'll all be there. Just go to photoshopworld.com/travel, and they have a code and a little link for you to go and download. And they've got a real good price on it. And the cutoff date is coming up here in just a few weeks. So if you're going to Photoshop World, save a few bucks. Also, we have a deal. There's an ebook of the week. It is, you get 40% off of the book price. It's by David Duchemin. It's called The Print and the Process. And the code, you have to put a code in to get your discount. The code is KelbyTV. So just go to peachpit.com, find their deal of the week, and put in the code KelbyTV. All right, a couple comments here. Let's see. Jay asked, we're going to take 2 seconds. I know we're already over time, but Jay asked the question, when is Zach coming back to social network? So, Zach, you took quite a break from social media because, dude, you were on social media as hard as anybody I know.
Right.
You inspired me. I would look and see all your Twitter things. I'm like, I'm a loser. Zach's put up 12 tweets today, and I have like half a tweet.
And I haven't really been on it since November.
Since November. So you took so first
I'm
off.
still off.
And you took the break just because.
Well, every December, I usually sign off of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Sign off and go spend a month and just hang out with my family and work on stuff that I always have loose ends. And this year I knew that I had a lot going on. I'm starting one new business with some friends, and I'm trying to get some new stuff done. So I took off earlier, and it's kind of like, it's basically, I've gotten a lot done that I wanted to get done. I needed to just get anything that takes my time, anything that sort of keeps me off a goal-oriented
So it wasn't a big
focus.
philosophical thing about
No.
social network. It's just like you
I
need to focus.
love social network. I love Twitter and I love Instagram, but I needed to focus. I need to cut certain things out of my life and need to focus and get stuff done. And when I get the first frame of this one personal project, when I shoot the first frame, then I feel like, okay, I can get back on Twitter and Facebook. And
okay, and hopefully it'll be sometime soon.
Yeah, it's going to be soon.
Okay, very good.
It's going to be.
All right, there's your answer on that.
Yeah.
Brad wrote, best photo possible, an HDR lighthouse with selective color in the background of a woman walking down the train tracks with a suitcase and a guitar and a cat sticking out of the top of the suitcase.
A vintage suitcase.
A vintage suitcase.
Yeah,
Very
I think,
good.
and that brick wall needs to show up in there somewhere.
JW Photo says, hotel photo on the Photoshop World travel page has too much vignetting. Okay, we didn't take that photo. That's their photo. It's provided by this. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a couple last ones we're going to look at, so let's do them real quick.
Let's get this done.
Here we go.
Super Kid. All right, let's go through them real quick.
Yep. Great magazine cover. Look at all the rooms.
Yep. Oh my God. And okay, next. Okay, this is kind of all over the place.
It is.
All right. So first off, cute kid doing the super. It's a cute photo, and you hand that to mom, and mom's like, oh, it's so cute.
I love it.
I like this shot. Now
I like him. I like the subject.
If I'm a photo editor, going, okay, yeah, thank you for all the extra room above the head because I've got to drop in copy or I've got to put a headline up there. As it stands as a photo, it would work as an 8x10 crop. but not as a full frame, right? So if you're like, I'm making an 8x10 for this gentleman, that crop works, right? Because the aspect ratio. I would like to see the main light on his face higher so it drops more of a shadow. What is that font you're using?
That was just the default font. I was doing something else.
Why is that a default
Because I was
font?
doing a wedding invitation. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's even worse now.
Like half my fonts are missing this week.
Do you have any like pictures of flowers with a white vignette around them that you're going to put on this invitation?
No, I was going to. Okay. Hey. You need to step off,
for
Zach.
$9, you can go to the Hallmark store and have it done for you.
So now you're just being mean.
Military Tim times.
All right.
See, perfect. Bam, done. And we're cropping off on the left side just a little bit, just to make it a little more symmetrical. But yeah, I mean, I believe that shot. I believe it.
Yeah, and you know what? He does have he has a proud look in his eyes.
Yeah.
I do like this shot.
I like the shot. I'd like either that rim light to go down in power a little bit to give a little more prominence to his face, because actually the rim light is brighter than the main. So the rim light could go down and...
You don't have to, you can keep going.
This is where small, what are you gonna, oh, this is where small text. Yeah. Now let's go to the boxer shot. All right, see this font? See, it's clean, it's simple, it's.
Ooh, I lost the boxer. Hold on, here he is.
Oh my God, Brooklyn's finest, yo, Brooklyn's finest. Like, hey, that
Zach,
font.
Don't piss this guy off.
I know, right? That font with the glow, just.
It's trying to look street, like it's graffiti kind of font.
Yeah,
right?
but it's not working.
It's not working.
It's not working, and it looks cheesy. This shot, the sky is so bright you can't see the Corvette in the bottom. I mean, you can see it enough to go, hey, there's a Corvette there. But it's one of those like, man, look at this badass photo of 2 jets and a Corvette. But it's just, and then trees.
You know what? We were talking about this on one of the breaks. Sometimes a photo comes up, and you don't even know what to say to improve it. You know what I mean? It's like,
don't shoot that.
Yeah, don't shoot this picture. See this picture?
Just don't shoot it.
Don't shoot this.
Or shoot it and put it on your wall in your living room and go, yeah, okay, I like that. But
and don't ever tell anyone else. Right? We got to get through these last ones quick. Oh, look, it's Bubba.
Yeah. I don't.
Well, wait. Let me just say this. Can I say this something real quick? I said that was Boba Fett. It is very possible that this is a different bounty hunter,
right.
In which case we will get lit up in the comments. That's not Boba Fett. That's his son, Frank Fett.
Yeah, Frank Fett.
Earl Fett.
That probably is Frank. That's
Boba?
probably Frank Fett.
Boba Fett could be Boba Fett. Yeah, so I don't really want to say so. It's a bounty hunter of unspecified origin.
You know what I like? I'll tell you what I like. Go back. I'll tell you the light. I don't like the posing is good.
Dude, they're in a cow field.
How he composed them together.
What are they doing out there? There's questions way before we get to that stuff. What are these guys doing out in the field?
Tending to their cattle.
It's sheep.
Sheep.
These are shepherds from the future.
Yes. Here's one of those things where this has obviously been HDR'd, but it's a little lighter.
Yeah, a lot lighter than what we saw before.
Right. And it's becoming more believable. I love that reflection, the blue of the sky. It's kind of an interesting shot. Hey, if I was the owner of that plane, I'd be like, heck yeah, I want a 40 by 60 of this
on metal
on my wall. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, can I give you an HDR tip?
Yes.
You know where a place that HDR looks weird and obvious is on things that are the color white. I think it's one of the most obvious places.
Like that tail?
Like the tail. It's one of the most obvious dead giveaways. This would have been a place where you go to put the original one on top, put a layer mask over it, and paint in the original white.
Yeah.
This would have been so much more believable. It would have looked like this was wet, and that's just, it's just, that for whatever reason, the color white is one of the worst ones for being a dead giveaway.
You know where the worst HDR is? Portraits.
Oh, dude, it's awful for portraits.
If you ever say, should I HDR this portrait? The answer is no.
Always be no.
Always.
Now, what you can do if you want to do HDR on the background and the surrounding stuff is go ahead and do it, and then you have to paint the person back in normal. You have to mask them. Remember, you take the original and mask them back in because it looks crazy. We're just about out of time. Let's say,
no.
Whoa. Cell phone shot.
Hey, Ted, wait.
Hi, Ted's calling me.
Hey, Ted. He's
Hey,
like,
Ted.
where's Zach's next chapter?
Hi, Ted. How you doing, buddy? I'm on the grid. Is it okay if I call you back later? Is it okay? I'm not bothering you, am I? Okay. All right. Thanks, bro. One of our other sponsors is Peach Pit Press. If they call in the middle of the show, we take the freaking call, but then we humiliate them. Okay. So this is a cell phone shot. In fact, I'm going to prove it.
Are you going to take a picture of it? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, looks like the same shot.
Yep, that's a cell phone shot for sure. And
it's a nice detail of a car, but okay.
You know what though? Look at the streaks and the softbox and stuff. You can retouch that stuff out.
I almost wonder if he's not in a parking deck though, and those aren't power lines. Booyah!
Booyah! All right, last one. Here we go. Last one. Here we go. It's not going to be that one. Don't look. We have to don't hide them. Okay, now I'm going to let you choose. This is the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
This is the big rack. Get ready. There it is.
This is where the big rack comment
rack?
come from. This is a rack tom over here, right? But and it's
That's
coming
a
off
big
of some
rack
stand.
tom.
Yeah, that's a big
That's
rack
a big
tom.
rack, Tom.
All right. You know what? I swear we've seen this picture before. Now, we have seen it before. I like the line 6. I have a line 6 amp myself. That's a line 6 bass amp. Mine's more like this one.
This all looks like it was like cut out with scissors and put on top of each other. You remember those color forms? Those little vinyl play sets?
Oh, yeah, like each one of them was shot
I had
separately.
a Mark and Mindy one.
Did you?
No, you had little, you had all the characters. You had a room, and then you had all the furniture and the characters, and then you could just
the Orc
stick
Deluxe
'em.
cutting set.
Yeah,
I remember
you just
that.
stick them on the living room set
Right.
or whatever.
I remember that.
Make your own story. And
I had that.
That's what that feeling is.
I like this one. We have seen this guy before. I don't know. Yeah, I like this one now.
Well, we've already seen.
He's
it.
a Zildjian guy,
been
too.
critiqued. Let's do one new.
Wait a minute.
If you've already been critiqued once, don't send it in.
Yeah, don't send the same stuff in too. All right. What do you think? No.
No. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Last one. Last one of the day
click
with
through
Zack
real quick.
Arias.
Click through real quick.
We'll go through real quickly. Jumping Jehoshaphat.
Jumping. All right, now then, the first reason I go, yeah. Now, we just kind of quickly looked through some other folders of other photographers, and it was like, here's a street scene, it's like a street and a car and a bird and a whatever, and then suddenly 5 pictures show up in
the thumbnails we can see.
And in 2 seconds, I go, yes. Let's look at this work, because immediately I see 5 pictures in 2 seconds, and it's consistent. It's a body of something. Someone has taken the time to think of it. They haven't just, let me send 5 pictures. Like, okay, and it's dance. The composition works on this. The light is, it's very dramatic.
I like it.
I like it as well. And
I like all the negative space.
Yep, the negative space works. And here's where it's like, okay, there's a balance between the subject and the negative space. And I don't even need to see the full of that circle of light on the floor. It's okay that that's cropped off. I look at that and I go, that feels balanced. But I can't give you math. Why?
You know what I kind of like about this photo? It's very subtle. I like the foot there. You can see she's wearing a ballet slippers, sorry, that she's wearing those. And normally I would say that's drawing your eye there, but you already have a spotlight down there, so it's not really. But that kind of takes it to, it's not just, I didn't shoot this at the yoga gym.
Seems very intentional.
Yep, seems very intentional.
And that's what a great photographer is. They are intentional with the details. And that is that, when you talk about that last 5%, it's little details.
And since they wrote their name right here on the edge of the page, Ronnie Boehm Dance Photography, there's a watermark. So, hey, shout out to Ronnie. Nice job. Very nice job.
The gesture, the face is great. That light in the background is a little too much for me. Like, I want to see all of that without that bright light behind her. Now, it does give a feeling of stage.
You know what's weird, though?
Performance.
Check this out. it looks like her neck ends here and then a big chunk has come out of her face right here.
Yeah.
So it's a little too powerful, because if it maintained the curve of her head and thing, I think you may not feel that way. But look, it looks like a shark came in and went right there and took a big chunk right there. It's very sad.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I've seen this kind of multiple exposure, slow shutter speed with dance before, but I like the balance. I like the balance of something still and in motion together. So it's kind of flash combined with long shutter speeds.
I like the colors.
The color.
I think the colors are very subtle and very, very nice.
It's
very
interesting.
pretty.
There's this really interesting morph effect.
Whoa.
That's a great action shot. Now, one thing I've learned, I've shot a little bit of dance, a little. And the thing that I learned in my little bit of dancing, shooting, not me dancing, I've learned other things, me dancing, is how technical it could be. You know, and I would shoot this picture and, you know, someone's in the air and I go, oh, I love this picture, I love this picture. And then the dancer looks at it and goes, oh my gosh, don't ever show anyone that picture.
Yeah, because my arm isn't just right.
Yeah,
same thing in martial arts.
The fingers are like 2 degrees off.
I love the picture.
You know,
but so as someone who is not like,
I don't do that every day.
I watch So You Think You Can Dance, but
yeah.
And they're probably shooting this very low to get that high perspective. It makes the dancers look higher.
Yeah.
And then here's another interesting one.
Yeah. I don't like that rug they're standing on.
I was just, you know what? I was just thinking, if the photo was right here, it's all this and the rug.
Yeah.
But right in here, I really like that because it almost has a
everything
oil
above
painted.
the steps.
Yeah, from the steps up looks great.
Steps up looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And below the steps is pretty bad.
Right.
I would just crop that.
I'm still thinking this might have been
Square crop.
at least close to our best photographer of the day.
Best photographer of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's something a little unique, something interesting. It's where lighting, exposure, composition, and something a little extra comes in all together into one, and it's one consistent voice. It's not a Corvette and then trees.
It isn't. All right, guys, we have so run out of time. We ran out of time a long time ago. But
Wrap
Zach,
it up.
I want to thank you. This was a very, very
thank you for
insightful
having
episode.
me.
Your critiques were absolutely fantastic.
And I kind of grid bombed you because it was like, hey, I need to have an office to work in. Can I come in? But because I was here on a job.
Oh, were you? Well, you're always
I
welcome
was
to
just
have an
down in
office.
St. Pete.
Just make sure it's on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we can get you back on the
So-
grid. But anyway, thank you very much. That was really, really terrific. This is the first time we've ever done 2 like back-to-back critiques, but it was totally, totally worth it. I'm so glad we did it. Thank you again. Thanks to all of our sponsors and for everybody who watched and tuned in. And we'll see you guys here next Wednesday once again on the grid. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
This week's episode of The Grid is sponsored by MPix. Shoot today, upload tonight, we ship tomorrow. On One Software, focused on photography. Peach Pit Press, publishers of technology books, ebooks, and videos for creative people. Epson, exceed your vision. Expo Imaging, Rogue Flash Benders for speedlight enthusiasts. Intel, the power you need for hardcore creatives. Squarespace, everything you need to create an exceptional photography website. And B&H Photo, the professional source.